Welcome back, everyone, to the Working Class Revolt. And I've got more good news for Nigel Farage, the leader of the Reform Party, and more bad news for Keir Starmer and the Labour government. So the Waspi women are flocking to the Reform Party since the Labour Party announced that it would not give them the compensation that it had promised over and over again. So for anybody who's not aware, the Waspi women are an organisation campaigning to get the compensation they believe they deserve. And to cut a long story short, they argue that they wasn't given proper notice and time to prepare for when they retired, when the age was changed of the retirement age for women. Now, the Labour Party in 2015 and 2019 put in the manifesto that they would give them the compensation, a whopping £10 billion. And even coming up to this general election, Keir Starmer and the majority of his cabinet, including Rachel Reeves, Angela Rayner, have all been seen at various times holding the billboards up, having their pictures took, claiming that they would support the Waspi women if they got into power. Well, within 6 months, they have gone back on that promise. And the Waspi women are letting them know. And it looks like they're going to let them know all about it, where it will hurt most, at the ballot box. So 11,000 Waspi women have been polled. Out of that 11,000, a huge 25%, a quarter of all these women, are now going to back Nigel Farage and the Reform UK Party. And are you ready for this? Only 7% will now vote for the Labour Party. Now, when asked how they voted only 6 months ago, the Waspi women voted 30% for Labour, up 23% from what they would now, and only 15% for the Reform Party. So the Reform Party have jumped up 10%, and the Labour Party have dropped 23%, meaning that the Reform Party are now the most popular party amongst Waspi women, old age pensioners, and the second most popular party of those aged 18 to 24. And I'm seeing people comment on pages and channels saying, but Farage has never said he would give the Waspi women the compensation. And to those people, they really are, it's mainly on the left, they are missing the point. It's not about whether Farage would give them the compensation or not. It is people are fed up with the lies told by the two big parties every time they want your vote. Nigel Farage, what he says is what he will do. And more people, even if they don't quite agree with a policy, are realising that and seeing Farage as the only person who can be trusted in politics. It seems on a weekly basis now, we've just got brilliant news for Reform and terrible news for the Labour Party. And what's interesting is the Conservatives seem non-existent. They don't even seem relevant in this conversation of Labour and Reform. And to me, it seems that Farage is now the official opposition, regardless of how many MPs he's got. And that takes me nicely on to the next conversation I'd like to talk about. And that is the attacks now coming from Rachel Reeves towards Nigel Farage. So when this all started off, the build up to the general election, the Labour Party would not mention the word Reform UK or Nigel Farage. Then after the general election, Keir Starmer just wanted to still pretend they didn't exist. Well, now the Labour Party are petrified, and now the attacks start, just like we predicted on this channel, towards Nigel Farage. And there's an article on The Guardian, and when Rachel Reeves is asked about Nigel Farage, this is what she says. What's Nigel Farage's answers on the economy? How is he going to make working people better off? He hasn't got a clue. How's he going to grow the economy? He's not got the faintest, she said. And she's basically carried on to say that Farage is gaslighting the voters by giving them easy answers. And this seems to be the new Labour line when it comes to the Reform Party, and more in particular, the leader, Farage. So Rachel Reeves, Keir Starmer all keep winning about this populist message, this easy answer. And we're seeing it in America with Donald Trump, and we're seeing it with Farage. And it's not that, it's the easy answer. It's what's common sense. It's giving back to the voters what they are asking for. So Rachel Reeves and the Labour Party are going to start now by saying Farage has no experience, Farage doesn't know what he's going to do. And she goes on in this article to say, how is he going to save money? Well, for one, Farage told us very clearly he was going to save £30 billion a year by scrapping the net zero plans that costed the last government £30 billion. If we add on Ed Miliband's carbon capture, this government is looking at spending around £50 billion a year just on the dream for this greener, better Britain that they say is going to save the world. Well, Farage, £30 billion is a lot of money just on one policy. Another policy that Farage has had, they will cut 1 out of 10 civil servant jobs. They will make a saving of around 10% of all the wasted money in the public sector. And that's very much the same as what we're seeing now with Elon Musk in the United States of America. And talking about Elon Musk, this is what has really got the Labour Party petrified. In the past, parties like Reform UK, or what it used to be, or kind of used to be in UKIP, didn't have the money that the big two parties had. It could never compete with them when it came to the ground game. Well, if Elon Musk donates even a fraction of the £100 million being rumoured, the Reform UK party are suddenly on day one just as rich, if not richer, than the big two parties. And the second problem that fringe parties in the past have had is the mainstream media. We talk about that a lot on this channel. The mainstream media are so corrupt. They are told what news to give, and they always support one of the two big parties. Well, now with Talk TV and GB News, even if I have got my concerns, especially about GB News, we see a lot of airtime being given to the Reform UK party. Nigel Farage is the biggest presenter on GB News. And when you combine the money and the media, that's what the big two parties have always had going for them. And now it seems like the Reform Party are coming up on a level playing field. So what do you think? What do you think with Rachel Reeves? Do you think this is a line of attack of Nigel Farage is basically an amateur? Do you remember Gordon Brown saying that in the run-up to 2010 general election? This is no time for amateurs. Look where it got Gordon Brown. And we see now with Rachel Reeves going down that same line, saying that Nigel Farage has no plan. He's gaslighting people. He's just giving them easy answers. Keir Starmer saying it's a populist message. And what they were talking about a lot of time with a populist message, especially from Keir Starmer, is when it comes to mass illegal immigration. Farage says, under international law, we would turn the boats around and send them back. Keir Starmer, the Conservative Party, and everybody else says, oh, it's not that simple. You can't do that. So what's the truth? Is Farage giving the simple answers, or are all the other parties lying? To me, it seems obvious. The big political parties and the mainstream media, they want mass immigration. They want the financial system the way it runs at the moment. And there is a disruptor in the UK, and now he has the backing of the richest man in the world, and he has the backing of probably, after the BBC, the most watched news channel in the UK under GB News. But let me know what you think about the Waspi women flocking to the Reform UK party and Rachel Reeves now trying a different tactic when it comes to Farage. And thank you all very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.